The single most bone protective thing you can change after menopause is not a supplement, and it is not a drug. It is the first thing you put in your mouth in the morning. So I want to start there, with the first of 7 breakfast foods that actually rebuild bone, before I explain a single mechanism. The first one is prunes. 5 to 6 of them every morning with your breakfast. I know how that lands. It sounds like advice from a nursing home. But there is a randomized controlled trial out of San Diego State that followed post-menopausal women for a year, and the group eating roughly 5 to 6 prunes a day held on to bone density in the hip while the control group kept losing it. Not a supplement extracted from prunes, the prunes. So if you take nothing else from the next 20 minutes, start there tomorrow. 5 prunes with breakfast. Now let me tell you why your breakfast is the hinge the whole day turns on, and why most women are eating the exact foods that quietly work against their skeleton every morning. Here is the part nobody explains in a 12-minute appointment. Your bone is not a finished structure. It is a construction site that never closes. There is a crew tearing old bone down and a crew building new bone back up. And for most of your adult life, those 2 crews stayed roughly matched. After menopause, when estrogen drops, the demolition crew keeps showing up for work, and the building crew loses half its workers. Picture scaffolding being dismantled faster than anyone is putting it back up. That is post-menopausal bone loss in one image. And it front-loads. The average woman loses around 2% of her bone density per year in the first years after her last period. And most of the lifetime loss happens in that early window. By the time anyone runs a scan and uses the word osteoporosis, the fastest part is often already behind you. I read women's health research and translate it. That is the work, plainly. No clinic, no patients. And the thing that keeps pulling me back to the bone literature is how upstream the real leverage sits and how late the standard conversation arrives. There is one protein I want you to know by name because it is the reason the demolition crew speeds up. It is called sclerostin. When estrogen falls, sclerostin rises, and sclerostin's entire job is to tell the building crew to slow down. So the loss is not just that you stopped building. Your own body started actively signaling the builders to stand down. The good news buried in that mechanism is that the building crew can be resupplied. Bone is living tissue. Cells rebuild. The instruction is the input. And breakfast is where you hand them the instructions for the day. There is a moment a lot of women describe to me almost word for word. You go in for a routine scan, expecting nothing, and the report comes back with a word on it you were not prepared for. Osteopenia, or worse. And the strange part is that you did what you were told. You drank the milk, you took the calcium pill. You may have taken it for 15 years, and the numbers still slid. That experience is not a personal failure, and it is not bad luck. It is the predictable result of a piece of advice that was incomplete. Calcium, given alone to a post-menopausal woman, without the vitamins and the protein and the magnesium that tell calcium where to go, was never going to be enough. Some of the large calcium supplement trials found almost no fracture benefit, and a few raised a separate worry, which is that calcium, with nowhere useful to go, does not vanish. It can deposit in the wrong place, in the lining of arteries. So the goal was never just more calcium. The goal is calcium plus the traffic system that routes it into bone. That is the entire reason this is a food conversation and not a supplement conversation. Whole foods come with the traffic system attached, which brings me to the wrong ones. Because the title promised it, and most women really are eating them. The standard menopausal breakfast in the United States is some combination of refined cereal with skim milk, a glass of orange juice, a low-fat yogurt, and coffee on an empty stomach. On paper, that looks healthy. For a 55-year-old skeleton, it is close to the worst opening you could write. Skim milk and low-fat yogurt have had the fat stripped out, and the vitamins your bones need most, vitamin D and vitamin K2, are fat-soluble. They ride into your body on fat. Take the fat out, and you have lowered the absorption of the exact nutrients you bought the dairy for. Refined cereal spikes blood sugar and delivers almost no protein. And protein is the scaffold that calcium mineralizes onto. And coffee on a completely empty stomach, first thing, lands on top of your natural morning cortisol peak. Cortisol is a bone-resorbing signal. You do not need to give up coffee. You need to not make it the only thing in your stomach at the hour your body is already running its highest bone breakdown signal of the day. Eat first, coffee after. That one change is free. So let me give you the 7, and the order is deliberate. Number 1 you already have, prunes. Let me just add the why. Prunes are not magic fruit. They are dense in vitamin K, in boron, in potassium, and in specific polyphenols that appear to dial down that demolition crew. In the trials, the women eating them did not just slow loss in some abstract average. The effect showed up at the hip, which is the fracture that actually ends independence. 5 to 6 a day, not the whole bag. There is a fiber ceiling your gut will enforce, and you will know exactly when you have crossed it. Number 2 is plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. Not the low-fat tub with fruit on the bottom and 14 grams of added sugar. Full-fat, plain, and you sweeten it yourself with the prunes or a few berries. Here is what that gives a post-menopausal skeleton in one bowl. Calcium, obviously, but also a serious dose of protein, around 15 to 20 grams depending on the brand, and the fat that lets the fat-soluble vitamins actually cross into your bloodstream. In practical terms for a woman who is 55 and reading this, a bowl of full-fat plain Greek yogurt with 5 prunes and a spoon of almonds is a more complete bone breakfast than a calcium supplement and a low-fat muffin will ever be. Number 3 is eggs, with the yolk, the whole egg. Somewhere in the last 30 years, a generation of women was taught to throw the yolk away, and the yolk is where the bone nutrients live. Vitamin D is in the yolk. Vitamin K2 is in the yolk. The protein is split across both, but the fat-soluble vitamins that direct calcium into bone, instead of into your arteries, are in the part most people discard. 2 whole eggs in the morning is one of the cheapest, most complete bone foods available to you. And it has the added benefit of being protein you will actually feel, which matters for the next thing. Number 4 I am going to spend a moment on, because it is the one that surprises women. Canned sardines, with the bones in. I know, but hear the logic. The soft, edible bones in canned sardines are calcium you can absorb, packaged with the vitamin D and the omega-3 fats that tell that calcium where to go, and the protein matrix to lay it onto, all in one tin that costs about $1.50. Sardines on a piece of real, whole-grain toast a few mornings a week is arguably the single most bone-dense breakfast on this entire list. If the texture is a wall for you, mash them with a little olive oil and lemon and put them on the toast like a spread. You are not eating them for pleasure. You are eating them because they are a complete skeletal repair kit in a can. Number 5 is leafy greens, and the trick is to stop treating them like a lunch food. A handful of kale or chopped collards folded into those eggs while they cook. The reason is vitamin K1, which works alongside the K2 from the yolk to keep calcium in your bones and out of your soft tissue. This is the part the calcium-only advice misses entirely. Calcium without the vitamins that direct it does not simply do nothing. It can end up in the wrong place. The greens are part of the traffic control. Number 6 is almonds, or almond butter on the toast. A small handful. Almonds bring calcium, but more importantly, they bring magnesium. And magnesium is the quiet partner in this whole system. Your body cannot properly use vitamin D without enough magnesium, and most post-menopausal women run low on it. So the almonds are not really a calcium food. They are the food that makes the vitamin D from your eggs and your sunlight actually work. A handful. Stirred into the yogurt or spread on the toast. And number 7 is not a single food. It is a threshold. Protein, at breakfast, at a level most women never hit. The old teaching, the one your gynecologist may still carry, was that protein leaches calcium from bone, the so-called acid ash theory. That has been walked back. The current literature points the other way. Adequate protein is associated with better bone density, not worse, and the collagen scaffold that calcium mineralizes onto is made of protein. The number that matters is roughly 25 to 30 grams of protein in that first meal. The yogurt, the eggs, the sardines together get you there. If you are eating a fruit smoothie and a piece of toast, you are at maybe 8 grams, and you have asked your body to maintain a skeleton on a budget that does not cover the maintenance. There is one more piece of timing worth understanding, because it changes how you think about the whole morning. Bone resorption, the demolition side, runs on a daily rhythm, and it peaks in the early hours and the early morning. That is partly why women wake at 3 with that restless, wired feeling. And it is also why what you do in the first hour after waking matters more than the same food eaten at noon. When you give the building crew protein and the fat-soluble vitamins early, you are meeting the demolition crew at its busiest shift with the materials to repair behind it. When you give it black coffee on an empty stomach, you are adding a small push to the resorption side at the exact wrong hour. None of this is dramatic on any single morning. Bone is a slow ledger. But menopause is a long game, and most of menopause is timing. And most of timing is just paying attention to the hour your body is already telling you something. 300 mornings a year, the small version of this decision, compounds into a measurable difference on a scan 5 years out. I want to be honest about where the certainty ends, because that is part of the job. The food evidence for bone is strong on direction and softer on exact dosing. I can tell you with confidence that protein, K2, magnesium, and the prune polyphenols move bone metabolism in the right direction. I cannot tell you the precise number of prunes that is optimal for your specific frame, because that trial has not been run with that precision. If I am wrong about anything here, it is most likely the exact dosing window, not the direction. The direction is well supported. And there is a conversation that has to run alongside this one, especially here. If you are on HRT, this picture looks different, in a good way. Estrogen therapy directly slows that demolition crew, and the food works with it, not instead of it. If you have already been diagnosed with osteoporosis, or you are taking a bisphosphonate, none of this replaces that medication. It supports it. The food and the prescription are on the same team. That conversation goes through the physician who knows your scan and your history. What I am giving you is the part the 12-minute appointment usually has no time for. The gynecologist who sees you next month was trained on textbooks written before half of this bone literature was published. That is not her fault. It is the speed of the training cycle. It does mean the breakfast research has to reach you some other way, which is why this video exists. So here is the whole protocol in one breath, the way you would actually run it. Eat before you drink coffee. Build the plate around protein and fat, not refined carbohydrate. Full-fat plain Greek yogurt with 5 or 6 prunes and a handful of almonds, 2 or 3 mornings a week. 2 whole eggs with greens folded in on the other mornings. Sardines on real toast once or twice a week when you can manage it. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein in that first meal. And move the coffee to after the food, every day. None of this is expensive. None of it requires a single supplement. And all of it hands your building crew the materials at the exact hour your body is deciding whether to repair or to keep dismantling. If your scan has been borderline, if your mother fractured a hip, if you are simply doing the math on the next 30 years of your own spine, this is the breakfast that the literature would write for you. Not the cereal, not the orange juice, not the low-fat anything. Real food in the morning with the fat left in. If this is the kind of breakdown you want more of, the subscribe button is in its usual spot. I do not insist, but the algorithm pays attention to that small click more than it should, and it is the only way the next woman who needs this finds it. And if you want the full version, with the week-by-week plan and the specific timing, I built a 30-day printable called the Post-Menopause Body Reset. It takes everything I just walked through and turns it into a calendar, with a free or cheap track for women who do not want to buy supplements. The link is in the description below this video. Start with the prunes tomorrow. Move the coffee to after the food. Then watch what changes in your body across the next 30 days. Cells rebuild. The instruction is the